This is Unit 8, Lesson 5, Adding and Subtracting Angle Measures. Two angles can be put together to form another angle. The measure of the whole angle is the sum of the measures of the smaller angles, which means you just add the two angle measures. So the measure of the whole angle here is 105 degrees. So it's one angle is 75 degrees and the other is 30, which equals 105 degrees. For the next part, it asks what kind of angle is formed when the two angles are put together, and then what is the measure of the total angle. So number one, let's look at the two angles. We have a 45-degree angle and a 45-degree angle. But when I look at this angle, I can see already that it is a right angle. Okay, so what kind of angle? This one's going to be right. And what is the measure of that angle? Well, I know that a right angle has 90 degrees in it. But if you weren't sure, you could add 45 plus 45, and then you would get 90. Okay, number two, what kind of angle is formed by these two angles being put together? Okay, so here I have 30, here I have 60, and I know that 60 plus 30 equals 90. So again, I have a right angle, and the sum of the two angles is 90 degrees. Okay, the next one, number 3. Okay, here we have a 90-degree angle and a 90-degree angle. And I know that this whole angle is a straight angle. Okay, and a straight angle has 180 degrees, or if you weren't sure, you would add 90 plus 90. Okay, and number 4, I have an angle of 130 and an angle of 50. So if I add 130 plus 50, I get 180, which I know is a straight angle, and that is 180 degrees. Number 5 says an angle is made from two angles with measures of 80 degrees and 70 degrees. Write and solve an equation to find the measure of this whole angle. So we have an obtuse angle here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have to add 70 degrees plus 80 degrees and add those two together. So if I add 70 and 80, I get 150. So this is a 150-degree angle. On page 414, you're going to use these angles that are shown right here to make other angles. Okay, so for number 6, which two angles would you put together to make a 75-degree angle? So you have to find two angles up here that would equal 75 degrees when you add them together. Okay, so I see here I have a 35-degree angle, and next to it is a 40-degree angle. So I know that 40 plus 30 is 75. So mine would be angles A, B, C, and angle D, E, F. So that's what you're going to do for the rest of them on this page. You do not need to do number 11 because that requires a protractor. Please pause the video now and complete this page. On page 415, we are going to work on subtracting angle measures. So we just finished adding them, now we're going to subtract. So the directions say to write an equation to find the unknown angle measure. So for number 12, it tells you that the angle measure of RST is 120 degrees. Okay, we know that this one is 75, but we need to find out the angle measure of that angle. So what I'm going to do is, since the whole angle is 120 degrees, I am going to subtract 75 degrees, and that should give me the measure of that angle. So I'm going to subtract 75 from 120. So I know this would become a 10, and this is going to then become an 11, and that's a 0. So I have 10 minus 5 is 5, and 11 minus 7 is 4. Okay, so the measure of angle VST is 45 degrees. Okay, on to number 13. The measure of angle MNP is 130 degrees. What is the measure of QNP? Okay, so part of the angle is 40 degrees. We know that the whole angle equals 130. So I'm going to take 130 and I'm going to subtract 40. Okay, and then I am going to get 90. Okay, so then the measure of angle QNP is going to be 90 degrees. Now you're going to complete number 14, 15, 17, and 18 on your own. So please pause the video and complete that work. When you are finished, please post a picture of the completed previous page and this page on Seesaw. There will be some homework and remembering pages, and those are posted on Seesaw for you to complete.